Hi, hello, welcome to Math&Me with me, Nikhila Sankar. Today we are going to deal with straight lines. Before that, I am really very happy for the overwhelming response. Do support my channel, do share it with your friends and family. Help class 11 kids score good marks in their exams. So let's get into straight lines now. So first, we are going to look at a few formulas. Okay? So first is the distance formula. So when you have 2 points, P of x1, y1 and Q of x2, y2. So if this is the point P and this is the point Q, the distance between them, the distance PQ is given as PQ is equal to square root of x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. Basically, it is the subtraction of the x coordinates and the y coordinates in the square root. The next formula is that to find the point, for example, let the point be x3 and y3. You need to find the point. Let this point, I'll denote it by R. So if this is the point R and this is the point P and this is the point Q with coordinates x1, y1 and x2, y2, and this point R separates the line segment PQ in the ratio m:n, then you can find the coordinates of R using this formula. So the coordinate of R, which is x3, y3, is nothing but mx2 plus nx1 by m plus n. This is the x coordinate. So that's why we are taking the x coordinates of the 2 points. M y2 plus n y1 by m plus n. So this is how you find the coordinates of the point that divides the line segment in some specific ratio. For example, if this m and n have the same value, if m is equal to n, so that means that R is the midpoint of P and Q. So what happens when you substitute that in this formula? If m and n are equal, so that means here you have m and here you also have m, and here it becomes m plus n. So what happens? R of x3, y3 is nothing but mx2 plus mx1 divided by m plus n. I'm just replacing the n with m because they are all equal. What if they are equal? M y2 plus m y1 divided by m plus m. So what happens? When you take the m out, you have 2m in the denominator, the m gets cancelled. So what do you get? R x3, y3 is nothing but x2 plus x1 divided by 2. You have 2m, the m goes off. Similarly, y2 plus y1 divided by 2. So this is nothing but the midpoint of the line segment. Midpoint of, for example, our line segment here is PQ. This is how you denote a line segment. Do you remember all this? You have learned this in, I think, your 7th or the 8th class. So this is how you represent a line segment, and this is how you represent a line. This is how you represent a ray. So just reminding you with all this. So this is basically the midpoint of the coordinate that divides the line segment PQ into 2 equal halves. Here m and n, if they are not equal, that doesn't mean they are equal halves. If m is equal to n, then it means they are equal halves. Okay, so that is the midpoint. This is the third one. The fourth one is the area of a triangle. So what do we have in a triangle? We have 3 coordinates, P, Q and R, with coordinates x1, y1, x2, y2 and x3, y3. So the area of the triangle is half times x1, y2 minus y3 plus x2, y3 minus y1 plus x3, y1 minus y2. So how can you remember this? You have x, y, y and the subscripts are 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2. It is basically a cyclic one. So when you have 1, 2, 3, இப்படியே சுத்திட்டு இருக்கும். It will only go around. So you have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You have 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, and you have 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. This is how you can easily remember the area of a triangle formula. Okay. So these are all the 4 consolidated formulas, and we'll see some examples using these formulas. Okay. Next is the slope of a line. What do you mean by a slope? So when you have a line that passes through the x-axis, the angle that it makes with the x-axis is the theta. And the slope or the gradient, we also call it the gradient, is nothing but tan theta. Okay, so tan theta is nothing but when you have 2 coordinates. For example, this is your point P and this is your point Q. And if this has coordinates x1, y1 and this has coordinates x2, y2, that means that tan theta is nothing but y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. This is the slope of a particular line or a line segment. A line segment can also be extended further, right? It is also a line. So basically the slope of a line or a line segment, or which is also called the gradient, is tan theta, which is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So this is when theta is acute. Do you see what is an acute angle? When the angle is less than 90 degree. When the angle is between 0 and 90 degree, it is a acute angle. What if the theta is an obtuse angle? So this is when theta is acute. So what if when theta is obtuse? When you have a line segment like this, so the angle made by the line segment with the x-axis is an obtuse angle. So here you have the point Q, here you have the point P. So what does your slope become? Tan theta is nothing but, similarly, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, but just with a minus sign. Why do you have a minus sign? Here, if this becomes the right angled triangle, so you have tan theta, which has the coordinates of P and Q. But here, the right angle is over here. So you need to know what this angle is. If this angle is theta, what is this angle? It is 180 degree minus theta. So basically, here your tan theta is not just tan theta, but it is tan of 180 minus theta. Tan 180 minus theta, which is the slope in this case. What is tan 180 minus theta? You know this is the first quadrant, second quadrant, third and the fourth quadrant. All silver tea cups. So in this particular quadrant, tan is positive. So that means you have 180 minus theta. 180 line is over here. 180 minus theta meaning the particular angle lies in the second quadrant. Here tan theta is not positive. So when tan of 180 minus theta is nothing but minus tan theta, which is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So tan theta is nothing but minus of y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So basically when theta is acute, you have tan theta equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. When you have an obtuse angle, when theta is obtuse, you have minus tan theta equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Okay? Okay. What do you have when you have 2 parallel lines? So for example, in this particular graph, when you have 2 lines, say L1 and L2, when you have 2 parallel lines, denote one angle by alpha, denote the other angle by beta. So the slope of the first line is tan alpha, let us name it as M1. The slope of the second line is tan beta and let us name it as M2. So when 2 lines are parallel, it means that their slopes are equal, meaning M1 is equal to M2. So tan alpha is equal to tan beta. How do you know that? Why is tan alpha equal to tan beta? You know that when 2 lines are parallel, the angle made by them, these are all the corresponding angles. So ultimately alpha is equal to beta. They make the same angle. When they make the same angle, the tan theta is also the same, which means that the slopes are equal. So when you have parallel lines, it means that M1 is equal to M2. It's very important. Next comes the perpendicularity. So when you have perpendicular lines, Meaning, when you have a graph and you have two lines that make 90 degree with each other. So this is the 90 degree angle. So this is line 1 and this is line 2. So let us assume that this angle is alpha and this angle is beta. So what do you have? These are two intersecting lines. So vertically opposite angles are equal. So this particular angle will also become 90 degree. What do you know about triangles? Sum of the interior angles of a triangle is equal to the exterior angle of a triangle. So that means alpha plus 90 degree is equal to beta. Taking tan on both sides, what do you have? Tan of alpha plus 90 is equal to tan beta. Tan of alpha plus 90 is nothing but when you have this 90 plus alpha is over here. It is in the second quadrant. All silver tea cups. Means the tan of alpha plus 90 will be negative. Also since it's 90, it will be minus cot alpha equals tan beta. What is cot alpha? Minus 1 by tan alpha equals tan beta. What is tan alpha? We have tan alpha is m1 and tan beta is m2. So minus 1 by m1 equals m2. So what is your final relation? m1 m2 equals minus 1. So this is another thing that you need to remember. When two lines are perpendicular, you have the product of their slopes to be minus 1. When you have two parallel lines, the slopes are equal. Okay, so this is what you need to remember to solve all your examples and exercise questions. It is very, very useful. Example number 1. First subsection. Find the slope of the lines through points 3, minus 2 and minus 1, 4. So you have 2 points and you need to find the slope. So let us denote the slope by m, which is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So whenever you have such questions, always name your coordinates because you will not get confused otherwise. So you have x1, y1, x2, y2. So now let us substitute. What is your y2? 4. Minus, what is your y1? It's minus 2. Never forget the brackets. Divided by x2 is minus 1. Minus, what is your x1? 3. So what is your final answer? 4 plus 2 divided by minus 4, which is minus 6 by 4, which is nothing but minus 3 by 2. So this is your slope. Okay. Let me solve the D subsection. It is given that angle made by the line with the x-axis is 60 degree. So when the angle is acute, what do you have? You have tan theta equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. This is the slope, but since you have been given the angle itself, so you can just directly substitute it. So what is tan 60? Tan 60 is nothing but, you remember, is root 3. So this is your slope. Slope equals root 3. Okay. Here comes the next formula. When you have two lines that make an angle theta with each other, so let this be line 1 and let this be line 2 with slopes. Slope L1 is M1 and slope of L2 is M2. So that means angle between the two lines is tan theta equals modulus of M2 minus M1 divided by 1 plus M1 M2. So this is the formula. Using this formula, we are going to solve a lot of questions. Example 2. It is given that the angle between the two lines is pi by 4. So which means theta is pi by 4 and the slope of one of the lines is half. So slope M1, let it be half. Find the slope of the other line. So we just learned a formula. So let us substitute tan theta. Tan pi by 4 equals mod. What is your M2? Let it be M2 minus M1, which is half, divided by 1 plus M1 M2. Let it be half M2. So what is tan pi by 4? It is tan 45, which is 1. 1 equals M2 minus half divided by 1 plus half M2. So when you remove the modulus sign, what do you have? You have two values. So one of the values is m2 minus half divided by 1 plus half m2 equals 1. This is one value. And what is the other one? It is plus or minus 1. So it's 1 plus half m2 equals minus 1. So you need to solve two different equations to find what m2 is. So here when I cross multiply, you get m2 minus half equals 1 plus m2 by 2. I'm going to bring m2 on one side and the individual numbers on the other side. So m2 minus m2 by half equals 1 plus half. So what do you have? 2m2 minus m2. It is m2 by 2 equals 3 by 2. Cancel 2 and 2. So slope is 3. This is one of the slopes. When you solve the other equation, what do you have? You have m2 minus half equals, when you have minus 1, both becomes minus 1. So minus 1 minus m2 by 2. I'm again going to bring m2 to one side and minus half to the other side. So you have m2 plus m2 by 2 equals minus 1 plus half. So what do you have here? 2m2 plus m2 is 3m2 divided by 2 equals minus 2 plus 1 is nothing but minus half. So when you cancel 2 and 2, you have m2 equals minus 1 by 3. Okay. So these are the two values of m2. It is either 3 or minus 1 by 3. Okay. Example 3. The question says, line through the points minus 2, 6, 4, 8. Minus 2, 6, 4, 8 is perpendicular to the line through the points 8, 12, x, 24. Find the value of x. So for example, if this is P and this is Q, this is A and this is B, they say that PQ is perpendicular to AB. So what do we know about perpendicularity? If the slope of PQ is m1 and if the slope of AB is m2, you have the product of their slopes to be minus 1. And what is the formula for a slope? General slope y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So let us find the slope of PQ and slope of AB. So first, slope PQ. So let that be your m1. m1 is nothing but, let me write down, x1, y1, x2, y2. You have y2 minus y1, 8 minus 6 divided by 4 minus of minus 2. So what do you have? 4 plus 2. So what do you have in total? 8 minus 6 is 2. 4 plus 2 is 6. So you have 1 by 3. What is slope AB? So let us now change the values of x1 and x2. So now this becomes x1, y1 and this becomes x2, y2. y2 minus y1. So m2 is 24 minus 12 divided by x2 minus x1. What is it? X minus 8. So what do you have? 24 minus 12 is 12 divided by x minus 8. This is your m2. So what do we know about perpendicularity? You have m1, m2 is equal to minus 1. What is your m1? It is 1 by 3 times 12 divided by x minus 8 equals minus 1. So I am going to have the numerator on the left hand side and the denominator goes to the other side. So you have minus 3 times x minus 8. So I am going to multiply 3 inside. So what do you have? 12 equals minus 3x plus 24. I am going to bring 12 to the right side, minus 3x to the left hand side. So you have 3x equals 24 minus 12. 3x equals 12, x equals 4. So the value of x is 4. We have just used the formula m1, m2 equals minus 1. We found the slope of PQ, we found the slope of AB. We had one unknown variable and we had one equation. So with this one equation, we solve for x. Okay. Exercise 10.1. First question. I am not going to solve the entire first question, but I will give you an idea of how to solve it. So you are given 4 points of a quadrilateral. What is a quadrilateral? It has 4 sides. It can be of any shape. I am not given any specific shape. So I will just draw a random parallelogram. Something like this. Okay. So this is the point A, B, C and D. So you have the coordinates -4, 5, 0, 7, 5, -5, -4, -2. It is always better to take the points of the quadrilateral in a cyclic format. Don't take A, B, C and D. Let it always be cyclic, and also take the given points in the given order and mark them as A, B, C and D. It is always better to avoid confusion. Okay. So this is given. They are asking you to find the area of this quadrilateral. But what do we know? We only know area of triangle using the coordinates, right? So what do? We split the quadrilateral into two triangles. We find the area of triangle ABD and we find the area of triangle BCD and add them both. So basically, area of quadrilateral ABCD is nothing but area of triangle ABD plus triangle BCD. We use the formula area of triangle equals half times x1 y2 minus y3 1 2 3 plus x2 y3 minus y1 plus x3 y1 minus y2. So in the first case, this will be your x1 y1, b will be your x2 y2, t will be your x3 y3. So solve for area of triangle ABD. Then you take the points B, C and D and solve for the area of triangle BCD. Then you add both. So this is how you approach this question. Do try to solve this on your own and comment the answer in the comment section. Thank you. Question number 2. It is given that the base of an equilateral triangle with side 2A lies along the y-axis such that, so let us draw. The equilateral triangle lies along the y-axis. So this is the equilateral triangle and this is the y-axis. They say that the base of the triangle is 2A. This is 2A such that the midpoint of the base of the base is at the origin. So this is the origin and they say that this is the midpoint. So this is A and this is A. So what are these coordinates? It is A, 0 and this will be minus A, 0. What are they asking for? Find the vertices of the triangle. So this is the first vertex, this is the second vertex. We need to find what this is. Here we know that the x coordinate is 0, but we need to know what the y coordinate is, right? So let me take it as y. We need to find what y is, okay? So this is an equilateral triangle and this is the altitude. So this is 90 degrees. So you have, let us call it A, B and C. So, and the midpoint is O. So in triangle AOC, since it's a right triangle, we have AC square equals OC square plus OA square using Pythagoras theorem. So what is AC square? This is the side of an equilateral triangle. So in an equilateral triangle, all the sides are equal. So since this side is 2A, this side is also 2A. So you have 2A the whole square equals, what is your OC? It is 8. They have given that O is the midpoint. So this is A. So this is A square plus what is OA square? We do not know. So let us have it as OA square. So OA square is nothing but 2A the whole square minus A square. So you have 4A square minus A square equals OA square. You have 3A square equals OA square, meaning OA is root 3 and the A comes out. So it's root 3A. So we know that OA's length is root 3A, which means it is at the distance of root 3A from the origin, which means that the y coordinate is root 3A. So we have found what the third vertex of the triangle is. So we have the coordinates of A to be 0, root 3A. So what are all the coordinates of the triangle? We have A, 0, root 3A. B which is minus a comma 0 and C which is a comma 0. So these are all the coordinates of the triangle. Question number 3. It is given that find the distance between P and Q when PQ is parallel to the y-axis. So you have x-axis and y-axis. You have PQ that is parallel to the y-axis. This is your y-axis. So here you have the coordinates x1 comma y1 and here you have the coordinates x2 comma y2. So using distance formula, distance between P and Q is nothing but root of x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. But since this is a parallel line to the y-axis, we have the same x coordinates, right? So this is the x coordinate, only the y changes. Here it is a positive y, here it is a negative y. But the x coordinate remains the same. So what do we have? Since PQ is parallel to y-axis, we have x1 equals x2. So in the distance formula, what do we have? Distance PQ is equal to x2 minus x1 becomes x2 minus x2 which is 0. And you have y2 minus y1 the whole square which is nothing but y2 minus y1. So the distance between P and Q is nothing but the difference between the y coordinates. So this is the first subsection. In the second subsection, we have PQ is parallel to the x-axis. So this is the y-axis and this is the x-axis. When PQ is parallel to the x-axis, we have the same y coordinate and only the x coordinates differ. So here we have, since PQ is parallel to x-axis, we have y1 equals, so y2. So what does your distance become? y2 and y1, if they are equal, they get cancelled and this term becomes 0. You have another term which is x2 minus x1 the whole square. So it is nothing but x2 minus x1 the whole square. When you take off the square root, you have x2 minus x1. So when the line is parallel to the x-axis, then the distance between the 2 points is just the difference between the two x coordinates. Okay. Question number 4. Find a point on the x-axis. So when a point is on the x-axis, what is the particular coordinate? So this is the graph and this is your x-axis. So when a point is over here, you have some x coordinate and the y coordinate is 0, right? So they have given, find a point on the x-axis. So let the point P be x, 0. We have two other points which is equidistant from 7, 6 and 3, 4. So let this be Q and let this be R. So you have Q 7, 6 somewhere here. This is the line segment QR which is 3, 4 and P is somewhere on the x-axis which is equidistant from both the points. So basically this distance is equal to this distance. You need to find what x is. So again you are going to use the distance formula. Distance QP equals distance PR. So when you find the distance QP, this is x1, y1 and this is x2, y2. When you find the distance of PR, this becomes x1 and this becomes y1. So let us use the distance formula. Distance PQ equals distance PR. Distance PR. So distance PQ is root of x2 minus x1 which is x minus 7. X minus 7 whole square plus y2 minus y1. 0 minus 6. 0 minus 6 the whole square equals distance PR. What is your distance PR? x2 minus x1 which is root of x minus 3 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 which is 0 minus 4 the whole square. Now squaring on both sides. Each and every step is important. Each and every reasoning is important. Do write everything in your exam. Squaring on both sides, you get x minus 7 whole square plus 6 square. X minus 7 the whole square plus 6 square, which is 36, equals x minus 3 the whole square plus 4 square is 16. Next step, I'm going to open this particular square. So x minus 7 is x square plus 49 minus 2ab. So it is 7 to 14x plus 36. I'm going to bring the 16 to the left hand side. So it's minus 16 equals, what is in your left hand side? X minus 3 the whole square. So it's x square plus 3 3s are 9 minus 6x. The 16 is taken to the left hand side. So what do you have? X square on both sides of the equal to sign. So x square goes off. So what do you have? 49 minus 14x plus 36 minus 16 is 20 equals 9 minus 6x. I'm going to bring the 14x to the right hand side and 9 to the left hand side. So you have 49 plus 20 minus 9 equals minus 6x plus 14x. Don't mess up with the sign, it is very important. It changes your whole answer. So you have 49 plus 20, 69 minus 9, which is 60, equals 14x minus 6x is 8x. So you have x is equal to 60 by 8. This goes in 4 table. So 4 2, 4 1s are, 4 5s are. So it's 15 by 2. So this is your x coordinate. So the point is 15 divided by 2, 0. Question number 5. Find the slope of a line which passes through the origin. So one of the points is 0, 0. So this is the origin. And the midpoint of the line segment joining the points P0, minus 4 and P8, 0. So let the midpoint of PB be some point Q with coordinates x, y. So we need to find the slope of a line which passes through the origin, which is 0, 0, and the midpoint of the line segment joining P and B. So Q, x, y. To find the slope of a line, we need to know two different coordinates. We need to have x1, y1 and x2, y2. So first we find the midpoint of PB, which is Q, and using Q, we will find the slope of AQ. So these are all the steps, okay? So find Q. What is the midpoint formula? The coordinates of xy is x2 plus x1 divided by 2, y2 plus y1 divided by 2. So in this case, this is your x1, y1, x2, y2. So what do you have? x2 plus x1, 8 plus 0 divided by 2, y2 plus y1, 0 plus of minus 4, which is minus 4. So it's minus 4 divided by 2. So what do you have? 4, minus 4. So this is the midpoint of P and P. Now you have Q, which is 4, minus 2. You need to find the slope. Now name this as x1, y1 and x2, y2. So slope AQ equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So what is your y2? Minus 2 minus 0. So it is minus 2 divided by x2 minus x1. It's 4 minus 0. So you have 4. What is the slope? 1 by 2. So slope equals minus 1 by 2. Always put a box in the exam for the invigilator to know what the final answer is. Question number 6. It is given that without using Pythagoras theorem, show that the points 4, 4, 3, 5 and minus 1, minus 1 are vertices of a right angled triangle. So what is a right angled triangle? Only one of the angles will be 90 degree. So what does that mean? For example, when you have P, Q and R, how do you approach this particular question? Anything could be P or Q or R. You do not know. So you need to find the slope of PR, PQ and QR. When you see that the slopes, product of slope is minus 1, then you can say that two sides of the right triangle are perpendicular. So which means that the triangle is a right triangle, right? So what do? You have 2 points. So let us find the slope of the first 2 points. So you have 4, 4 and you have 3, 5. So the slope m1 equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So this is your x1, y1. This is your x2, y2. y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So what do you have? 1 by minus 1, which is equal to minus 1. So this is the slope of the first 2 points. What is the slope of the second 2 points? 3, 5 and minus 1, minus 1. So this is your x1, y1, x2, y2. So slope m2 equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So you have minus 6 divided by minus 4, which is 3 by 2. You have the other 2 points, 4, 4 and minus 1, minus 1. 4, 4, minus 1, minus 1. x1, y1, x2, y2. So slope m3 equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So what do you have? Minus 5 divided by minus 5, which is equal to 1. So what do you see? m1 is minus 1 and m3 is 1. So the product of m1, m3 equals minus 1 times 1, which is equal to minus 1. So you write, since m1, m3 equals minus 1, the given vertices are of the right triangle. So what do you see in these 2 pairs and these 2 pairs? The common point is 4, 4. So the point Q is 4, 4. The point R is minus 1, minus 1. The point P is 3, 5. Okay, so this is your P, this is your Q and this is your R. Okay, this is the common point 4, 4 and 3, 5. The slope of that is minus 1. The slope of 4, 4 and minus 1, minus 1. The slope of QR is 1. So what do you have? Since M1 and M2 is minus 1, we have PQ perpendicular to QR. Hence it is a right triangle. Okay. Question number 7. Find the slope of the line which makes an angle of 30 degree with the positive direction of y-axis. What is the positive direction of y-axis? This is the positive direction. So it's given that the line makes 30 degrees with the positive direction of y-axis. We need to find the slope of the line. So what is the slope of the line? This angle is 90 degree. So the whole theta is 30 degree plus 90 degree, which is equal to 120 degree. So what is the slope of a line? Tan theta, which is equal to tan 120 degree. How do you find the value of tan 120 degree? You can either do tan of 180 degree minus 60 degree, or you can do tan of 90 degree plus 30 degree. So what do you get here? You get tan 60, which is equal to root 3. What do you get here? Cot 30, which is also root 3. So you can either do it in this way or you can do it in this way. Okay. Next comes the concept of collinearity. So what does that mean? In a line, when you have A, B and C on the same line, it means that the points A, B and C are collinear. But how do you prove that? Slope AB equals slope BC. That is how you prove it. So when it comes to collinearity, slope AB equals slope BC. So let us solve question number 8. It is given that points x, minus 1, 2, 1 and 4, 5 are collinear. find x. So what does that mean? Let us assume this is point A, this is point B, and this is point C. So slope AB equals slope BC. What is slope AB? X2 minus x1, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. This is x2 and this is y2. So slope AB is y2 minus y1. So it is 1 plus 1 divided by x2 minus x1. Now what is slope of BC? You have this to be your x1, y1. So you have y2 minus y1 equals x2 minus x1. So you have 2 minus 4. What do you have? 2 divided by 2 minus x equals minus 4 divided by minus 2. So this gets cancelled. This becomes 2. So when I cross multiply, I have 2 equals 2 times 2 minus x. 2 equals 4 minus 2x. I am bringing the 2x to the left hand side, 2 to the right hand side. So 2x is equal to 4 minus 2, which is 2. X equals 1. So the point is 1, minus 1. Question number 9. Without using the distance formula, show that the given points are vertices of a parallelogram. So what are the vertices? We have minus 2, minus 1. We have 4, 0, 3, 3, minus 3, 2. So what do we do to show that the given vertices are the vertices of a parallelogram? We need to prove that these two sides are parallel and these two sides are parallel. Meaning the slope of this line and this line are equal and the slopes of this line and this line are equal. So we start with finding the slopes of every 2 points. First we find the slope of these 2 points. Then we find the slope of these 2 points. Then these 2 and at the last these 2. Okay, so let's do that. So let's name them as A, B, C and D. I do not know where they lie in the parallelogram. We'll find that once we solve which slopes are equal. So slope AB equals, so this is your x1, y1, x2, y2. So you have slope AB, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, 4 plus 2, which is 6. Now you have slope PC. So now this becomes your x1, y1 and this is your x2, y2. So y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, which is 1. So you get minus 3. Slope CD. So now this is your x2, y2. You have y2 minus y1, which is minus 1. x2 minus x1, minus 3 minus 3, minus 6, which is equal to 1 by 6. You have slope AD. So this is your x1, x2, this is your x2, y2. You have y2 minus y1. 2 minus of minus 1 is 2 plus 1, 3 divided by minus 3 plus 2. So it's minus 1. So what do you have? Minus 3. So what do you infer from here? Slope of AB equals slope of CD. Slope of BC equals slope of AD. Slope AB equals slope CD equals 1 by 6, which means AB is parallel to CD. Similarly, slope BC equals slope AD, which is equal to minus 3, which means BC is parallel to AD. So what do we have? AB is parallel to CD and BC is parallel to AD. So these are the vertices of a parallelogram. Okay. Question number 10. Find the angle between the x-axis and the given 2 points. 3, minus 1, 4, minus 2. So this is A and this is B. So this is your graph. This is your line. This is point A, B. They are asking what the value of theta is. The angle made by the x-axis with the line segment AB. So what do you do? First you find the slope and then equate it to tan theta. and then you find the tan inverse of theta to find the value of theta, right? So first you find slope AB, x1, y1, x2, y2. So y2 minus y1, minus 2 plus 1 is minus 1 divided by x2 minus x1, which is 1. So the slope is minus 1. What do you know? This is the tan theta. So what is theta? So tan theta is negative if it is either tan of 90 plus theta or tan of 180 minus theta, right? So what is the value? Tan theta equals 1, then theta equals 45 degree. But since this is negative, substitute the value of theta to either of these equations. So you have tan 90 plus 45, or you have tan 180 minus 45. So what do you have? It's tan 135. Here also you get the same answer, tan 135. So what is the angle made? Theta equals 135 degree. Since this is minus 1, the theta is 135 degree. If this is positive 1, then the value of theta will be 45. So how does your diagram change? This is not your actual diagram. Your diagram will be something like this. Since it's an obtuse angle, this is 135 degrees. Okay. Question number 11. Slope of a line is double of the slope of the other line. So given M1 and M2 are the two slopes, they say that one of the slopes is double the other slope. And it is given that the tangent between them is 1 by 3. So what formula do you know connecting all these variables? You have tan theta equals mod M2 minus M1 divided by 1 plus M1 M2. I'm not going to solve this problem, but what do you have to do? Instead of M1, you substitute 2M2. So M2 minus 2M2, 1 plus M2 times M2. So you will get a quadratic equation in terms of M2. You have to solve for two different values. Since you have a mod symbol here, so what will you get? 1 by 3 is M2 minus 2M2 divided by 1 plus M divided by 2M2 square, and you will be getting two values. So minus M2 divided by 1 plus 2M2 square equals 1 by 3 is one option, and the other option is minus M2 divided by 1 plus 2M2 square equals minus 1 by 3. You have to solve for this. You will be getting two values for M2, which is 1 and half. You will have to substitute that for M1. So M1 will be 2M2. So you will be getting two slopes for M1. Okay? When value of M2 is 1, you will be getting M1 is 2. When value of M2 is 2, you will be getting the value of M1 to be 1. Okay? Try solving this at home and tell me what answers you get. Question number 12. A line passes through x1, y1 and h, k. x1, y1 and h, k. If the slope of the line is m, so you have the slope to be m. So what is your equation? You need to prove that k minus y1 equals m times h minus x1. So prove this. Prove. So how do you do? Slope equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So this is your x1, y1. This is your x2, y2. So what do you have? K minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1 is h minus x equals m. It is given in the question. So what do you have? K minus y1 equals m times h minus x1. So k minus y1 equals m times h minus x1. It is a very simple question. You just have to apply the formula that you know. If 3 points h, 0, a, b and 0, k are collinear, prove that a by h plus b by k equals 0. So what do we know about collinearity? Slopes of 2 points are equal, correct? So you have slope of this particular line segment equals slope of this particular line segment. So let this be A, B and C. So slope AB equals slope BC. What is slope AB? Y2 minus Y1. So this is your x1, Y1, x2, Y2. Y2 minus Y1, B minus 0 divided by x2 minus x1, A minus H equals slope BC. So I will name this as x1, Y1. So you have y2 minus y1, which is b minus k divided by x2 minus x1, a minus 0. So you have these two are equal because of collinearity. Okay. Write each and every reasoning and justification in a bracket in the exam. So now I am going to cross multiply. So you have AB equals P minus K times A minus H. The bracket is very important. Without the bracket, how will it look? B minus K times A minus H. It will be like B minus K times A minus H. So this bracket is very, very important. Never miss any brackets. Okay. So when I multiply, you have AB K into H, minus into minus plus, so you have plus AH, then you have B times minus H, so minus BH, K times A, so you have minus KA, and you have AB in the left hand side. So here AB and AB gets cancelled, so you have a 0 here. So what happens then? You have KH minus BH equals KA, so KH minus BH minus KA equals 0. I need A and B in the numerator. So I am going to sustain these two terms on one side and the other term on the other side. I write down here. I am going to take AK to the right hand side. So it becomes KH equals AK plus BH. Okay. Now I am going to divide the whole equation by HK. Dividing by KH. So what do I have? KH divided by KH equals AK divided by KH plus BH divided by KH. How did I know that I will have to divide by KH? I see that the numerators are A and B. So I have taken A and B on one side. I see that I also need a 1 on the other side. So I have a KH here. To make this a 1, I have to divide it by KH. So that's the trick. So here I cancel, it becomes 1. KK gets cancelled. I have A by H. H and H gets cancelled. I have B by K. So that's how you prove it. Hence, true. Question number 14. It is given that find the slope of the line AB and using it find what will be the population in the year 2010. The graph is such that it is a straight line and the point A lies here. It is 1985, 92 and the point B is 1995, 97. They are asking what will happen when it reaches 2010. So let this value be y. So from the graph we see that they are all in the straight line. So first we find the slope of AB. Slope AB equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Okay. So what do you have in the numerator? 5 divided by 10, which is equal to 1 by 2. So since they are all in the same line, due to collinearity, slope AB equals slope BC. So what is slope BC? y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So when you try to equate both, you have slope of AB, which is half, equals y minus 97 divided by 50. So this is from equation 1. And equation 2. Since the slopes are equal, AB equals BC. slope AB is 1, half equals y minus 97 divided by 15. So what do you have? 15 divided by 2 plus 97 equals y. So you get the value of y once you solve to be 104.5. So this is the answer. So in the year 2010, the population would be 104.5. It's in terms of crores. So crores. So that is how you write the answer. Now we are going to see various forms of equations of line. So the first form is point slope form. So what is a point slope form? We have one single point which is x0 and y0, and the slope is given to be m. So when you have one single point and the slope, then the equation of the line will be y minus y0 equals m times x minus x0. Where do you get such an equation from? So for example, when you have a line and the point x0, y0 lies here, and there is some point x comma y on the same line, and the particular slope of this line is m. So what do you have? y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So you have y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1 is the given slope. So that is where you get the equation from. Okay. So I am writing down the proof for this particular equation. From the next equations, I will just be giving you what the form is and what the equation holds for. We will be solving some similar exercises immediately after the formulas. Okay. So using the point slope form, we have example 7. It is given that find the equation of the line passing through minus 2 comma 3 and the slope is minus 4. So what do you have? Y minus y0. So this is your x0 and this is your y0. Y minus y0 equals m times. What is your slope? Minus 4 times x minus x0. So minus of minus 2 is plus 2. So what do you have? Y minus 3 equals minus 4x minus 8. I'm going to bring everything to one side. So I have 4x plus y minus 3 plus 8 equals 0. 4x plus y plus 5 equals 0. So this is the required equation. So when you have one single point and the slope of a line, you use this particular equation to find the equation of the given line. Okay. So this was point slope form. What if we have 2 points? So this is called the 2-point form. Then the particular equation will be y minus y1 equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1 times x minus x1. Okay. So this is the equation for 2-point form. So we'll solve an example question. Example 8. Find the equation of the line passing through the points 1 comma minus 1 and 3 comma 5. So this is your x1 y1, x2 y2. So what does it become? Y minus y1 equals y2 minus y1. So it's 5 plus 1 divided by x2 minus x1 times x minus x1. What do you have x1? So it is x minus 1. So y plus 1 equals 6 divided by 2 times x minus 1. So you have a 3 here. Y plus 1 equals 3x minus 3. So bringing everything to one side, I have minus 3x plus y plus 1 plus 3 equals 0. I am multiplying the whole equation by minus 1. So I get 3x minus y minus 4 equals 0. So this is my equation using 2-point form. Okay. Next we have the slope intercept form. So for example, when the y-intercept, meaning y-intercept is c, meaning when you have a line and the line intersects the y at the point c. So what is your x? 0 comma c. So if this is the case, your y will be mx plus c. If your x-intercept, for example, if your line intercepts on the x-axis at some point t comma 0, then your equation will be y equals m times x minus t. Okay. So let us solve an example question. Example 9. Write the equation of the lines for which tan theta equals 1 by 2, which is the slope m, where theta is the inclination of the line, y-intercept is minus 3 by 2. So y-intercept meaning c equals minus 3 by 2. So what will be your equation? Y equals mx plus c. Y equals, what is your slope? Half times x minus 3 by 2. Multiplying 2 on both sides, I get 2y equals x minus 3. So now my equation becomes, taking everything to one side, x minus 2y minus 3 equals 0. So this is for the first subsection, y-intercept. Second subsection, x-intercept, which is d equals 4. So what does my equation become? Y equals m times x minus d. So y equals, the slope remains the same, x minus 4. So what happens? I'm going to multiply. So I have 2y equals x minus 4. So my equation is x minus 2y minus 4 equals 0. Okay. Comes the intercept form. So in this case, when the line segment touches both the x and the y axis, you have an x-intercept and a y-intercept. So how does your equation look like? X divided by a, because on the x-axis you have the point a comma 0. So x divided by a plus y divided by b equals 1. This is the equation. Okay. So let's do an example. Example 10. Find the equation of the line which makes intercepts of minus 3 and 2 with the x and the y axis. So x-axis intercept is minus 3 and y-axis the intercept is 2. So how does your equation look like? X divided by minus 3 plus y divided by 2 equals 1. I take LCM. So I get 2x. So let me take the minus symbol to the numerator. I have minus 2x plus 3y equals 6. I am bringing the minus 6 to the left hand side. So I have minus 2x plus 3y minus 6 equals 0. I am going to multiply the whole equation by minus 1. So I have 2x minus 3y plus 6 equals 0. So this is my final equation. Okay. When both x and the y intercepts are given, this is your final equation. Next, you have a normal form, meaning when you have the graph, when you have a line which is at a distance of p from the origin, which is perpendicular to the given line, then the equation of this particular line segment AB is nothing but, so this distance is p, I'll write p here, and the angle made with the x-axis is omega. So how does the equation look like? We have x cos omega plus y sin omega equals p. So this is the equation when the line segment is at a distance of p from the origin and the angle made by the line segment with the x-axis is omega. Okay. So let us solve one question using this formula. Example 11. It is given that find the equation of the line whose perpendicular distance from the origin is 4 units. Perpendicular distance from the origin is 4 units and the angle which the normal makes with the positive direction is 15 degrees. So what do you have? You have cos omega, which is cos 15. How do you find the value of cos 15? You have cos 45 degree minus 30 degrees. So this is of the form cos A minus B. So what is cos A minus B? It is cos A cos B plus sin A sin B. So in this case, what is it? It is cos 45 cos 30 plus sin 45 sin 30. So what is it? What is cos 45? So let us write the trigonometric table. 0, 30, 45, 60, 90. 0, 1 by 2, 1 by root 2, root 3 by 2, 1. And for the cos, it is just the opposite. Root 3 by 2, 1 by root 2, 1 by 2, 0. So cos 45 is 1 by root 2 times cos 30 is root 3 by 2 plus sin 45 is 1 by root 2, sin 30 is 1 by 2. So what do you have? You have root 3 plus 1 divided by 2 root 2. So that is the value of cos 50. Now we need to find the value of sin omega. So sin 15 equals sin 45 minus 30 degree. What is the formula? Sin A minus B. Sin A minus B is sin A cos B minus cos A sin B. So this is sin A cos B minus cos A sin B. What is sin A? 45. So sin 45 is 1 by root 2, cos 30 is root 3 by 2 minus cos 45 is 1 by root 2, sin 30 is 1 by 2. So what do you have? Root 3 minus 1 divided by 2 root 2. So you have found the value of cos omega, sin omega. So what is your final equation? X times root 3 plus 1 divided by 2 root 2 plus y times root 3 minus 1 divided by 2 root 2 equals 4. So in the next step, what can you do? You can multiply 2 root 2 on both sides. So you will get x times root 3 plus 1 plus y times root 3 minus 1 equals 8 root 2. So that is your final answer. Okay. So I write the final answer over here. You have x times root 3 plus 1 plus y times root 3 minus 1 equals 8 root 2. So this is your equation. So exercise 10.2, question number 1. Write the equation for the x and the y axis. So what is the coordinate in the x axis? The value of x keeps changing, but the value of y remains a 0. So what is the answer? Y equals 0 is the equation. This is for x-axis. For y-axis, in the y-axis, the y value keeps changing, but the x value remains constant. So the equation of the y-axis is x equals 0. Okay, it's pretty simple. Question number 2. Find the equation passing through the point minus 4, 3 and the slope is 1 by 2. So what do we have? We have a point slope form. So what is the equation? Y minus y naught equals m times x minus x naught. You have to remember all this. Okay. So this is your x naught and y naught. And this is your m. So what do you have? Y minus y naught equals half times x minus x naught. Minus into minus gives a plus. So you get y minus 3 times 2. I am multiplying this here equals x plus 4. So I have 2y minus 6 equals x plus 4. I am bringing everything to one side. So I have x minus 2y plus 4 plus 6. So I have plus 10 equals 0. So this is my equation. Okay. Question number 3 is very similar to question number 2. So I am directly going to solve question number 4. Find the equation passing through the point 2, 2 root 3 and the angle is 75 degrees. So we have a point and the angle. So with the angle, we can find what the slope is. So we are given the point slope form. So let us find what the slope is first. So tan 75 can be written as tan 45 plus 30. So what do you know? Tan of a plus b equals tan A plus tan B divided by 1 minus tan A tan B, right? So what do you have? Tan 45 plus tan 30 divided by 1 minus tan 45 tan 30. Tan 45 is 1 plus tan 30 is 1 by root 3 divided by 1 minus 1 times 1 by root 3. Okay. What do I have here? Root 3 plus 1 divided by root 3 minus 1. The denominator root 3 goes off. So I am going to rationalize this. What do I get? Root 3 plus 1 divided by root 3 minus 1 times root 3 plus 1 divided by root 3 plus 1. So what do I get? Root 3 times root 3, 3. 1 into 1 is 1 plus root 3 plus root 3 divided by 3 square. A minus b into a plus b is a square minus b square. So I have 3 minus 1, which is 2. So I have 3 plus 1, which is 4 plus 2 root 3 divided by 2. Taking 2 in common, I have 2 plus root 3. So this is my slope, tan 75, which is my slope. Now I have a point and a slope. So according to the point slope form, y minus y naught equals slope times x minus x naught. So this is y minus 2 root 3 equals, I am going to multiply this, 2x minus 4 plus root 3x minus 2 root 3. Okay. So I am bringing everything to the left hand side. I have 2 plus root 3 into x. So x times 2 plus root 3. But since this comes to the left hand side, it becomes a minus. So minus x 2 plus root 3. What else do I have? I have minus 4 minus 2 root 3. The minus 2 root 3 and the minus 2 root 3 gets cancelled. So I am going to bring this 4 to the left hand side. I have a y here. So y plus 4 equals 0. I am going to multiply the entire equation with minus 1. So I have x times 2 plus root 3 minus y minus 4 equals 0. Okay. Question number 5. Intersecting the x-axis at a distance of 3 units to the left of origin. So if the origin is here, to the left of origin, 3 units now, what does the coordinate be? What will the coordinate be? It will be minus 3, 0. So your point is minus 3, 0. And what else is given? Slope is minus 2. So you know what the point is, you know what the slope is. You can use the point slope form to find the equation. I am not solving this. Find the answer and write it down in the comment section below. Okay. Sixth question is very similar to question number 5. The only change is that it is intersecting at y-axis at a distance of 2 units above the origin. So what will the point be? It will be 0, 2. And the slope is given. The angle is given. So the angle is 30 degree with the positive direction of the x-axis. So it is tan 30, which is 1 by root 3. So you know what the slope is, you know what the point is. You can use the point slope form. Okay, I am not solving this. Solve this on your own. I am going to question number 7. Passing through the points minus 1, 1 and 2, minus 4. So you have 2 points. You need to use the 2-point form. So this is your x1, y1. This is your x2, y2. So what is your 2-point form? It is y minus y1 equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1 times x minus x1. So this is your 2-point form. So what is your y1? Y minus 1 equals y2 minus y1. Minus 4 minus 1 minus 5 divided by x2 minus x1. 2 minus of minus 1 is 2 plus 1, 3. X minus x1. So it is plus 1. Okay. So now I am going to multiply this. So it will be 3y minus 3 equals minus 5x minus 5. I'm going to bring everything to the left hand side. So I have 5x plus 3y minus 3 plus 5. So I have plus 2 equals 0. Okay. This is the equation. The 8th question is perpendicular distance from the origin is 5 units. So this is the normal form. You remember what is the equation? X cos omega plus y sin omega equals p. And what is it given? Omega is 30 degree. The angle made with the positive x-axis is 30 degree. Please be very careful if they have given the angle that is made from the x-axis or if it's from the 90 degree line, from the y-axis. So be very careful when you're reading the question. So if it is from the x-axis, this is 30 degree. If it is from the y-axis, that is 30 degree, then the whole angle is 90 plus 30 degree. So don't miss this, okay? It is very important. Read the question. So this is given. So what is your cos omega? Cos 30. Cos 30 is 1 by 2. Your sin 30 is root 3 by 2. So you have x cos 30, which is x times 1 by 2 plus y times sin 30, which is y root 3 by 2 equals 5. I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. So I have x plus y root 3 equals 10. So x plus y root 3 minus 10 equals 0 is the equation. Okay. 9th question. We are given a triangle PQR. So P, Q and R with coordinates 2, 1, minus 2, 3 and 4, 5. They are asking for the equation. Find the equation of the median through the vertex R. So this is the median through the vertex R. So what do you know about median? What is the difference between a median and an altitude? Altitude makes an angle of 90 degree. But median does not make an angle of 90 degree, but instead it divides the line segment into 2 equal halves. So we have to find the equation of this particular line. Let me name it as RA. To find the equation of this particular line, I have 1 point. So what are the 2 ways to find the equation of RA? You have 1 point. So you need the slope of this line. So you can use the point slope form. Or what is the second method? When you find the point A, you can use the 2-point form. So since this is given to be the midpoint of the line P and Q, we'll find the midpoints of PQ, we'll find the coordinates of A. Using coordinate of A and coordinate of R, we'll find the equation of the line. Okay. So A is the midpoint of PQ since RA is the median, right? So the coordinates of A are, what is the midpoint form? x1 plus x2 by 2 and y1 plus y2 by 2. So this is x1, y1, x2, y2. So I have x1 plus x2, which is 2 minus 2 by 2, comma, y1 plus y2, which is 1 plus 3 by 2. So what do I have? 0, 4 by 2 is 2. So that is the coordinate of A. So now you have A, which is 0, 2 and R, which is 4, 5. So now this is your x1, y1 and x2, y2. So using 2-point form, you have y minus y1 equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1 times x minus x1. So you have y minus 2 equals y2 minus y1. 5 minus 2 is 3 divided by x2 minus x1. 4 minus 0 is 4 times x minus 0. So what do I have? I have 4y minus 2 equals 3x. Bringing everything to one side, I have 3x minus 4y plus 2 equals 0. So this is the required equation. Okay. Question number 10. Find the equation of the line passing through minus 3, 5 and it is perpendicular to 2, 5 and minus 3, 6. 2, 5 and minus 3, 6. So we have one point. We need to find the equation of the line passing through the points minus 3, 5. So since we have one point, we either need another point or we can find the slope. So what do we have? We have 2 points. They say that the line passing through this point is perpendicular to the line passing through these 2 points. Meaning, when you find the slope of, for example, let this be AB and the line passing through this, let this be PQ. So it is given that PQ is perpendicular to AB. So what do you know about their slopes? Product of M1, M2 equals minus 1. So with this, we can find the missing slope. So let's find the slope of AB equals, so this is your x1, y1, x2, y2. So it is y2 minus y1, 6 minus 5 divided by x2 minus x1, minus 3 minus 2. So you have 1 by minus 5, which is minus 1 by 5. So this is M1. I know that M1, M2 equals minus 1 given they are perpendicular. So M2 equals minus 1 by M1, which is equal to minus 1 by minus 1 by 5. So I get 5. This is my M2. Now that I know one point and I know the slope, the point is minus 3, 5 and the slope M is 5. Using 1 point slope form, I get y minus y naught equals m times x minus x naught. Y minus 5 equals 5 times x plus 3. Minus into minus plus. So I have 5 minus 5 equals 5x plus 15. Bringing everything to one side, I have 5x minus y plus 15 plus 5. 20 equals 0. So this is the required equation. They're all pretty easy. You just have to use everything that you learnt. Perpendicularity, parallel lines, collinearity. So everything that you learned and different various forms of equations, use everything. Okay. It is given that question 11. A line perpendicular to the line segment joining the points 1, 0 and 2, 3. Let they be A and B. So the line perpendicular to the line segment joining the points AB divides it in the ratio 1:n. Find the equation of the line. So we know that slope of AB equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So you have 3. So let this line be P and Q. So we need to know the slope of PQ. So slope PQ equals M2 and let this be M1. Since it is given that they are perpendicular to each other, what do we know? We know the product of their slopes is minus 1. So you have M1, 3 times M2 equals minus 1. So M2 equals minus 1 by 3. So we know what the slope of this line is. We need to know the point Q. It is given that this particular Q divides the line segment in the ratio 1:n. So what do you know about ratios? Let the coordinate of Q be x, y. So to find x, y, you need mx2 plus nx1 divided by m plus n and my2 plus ny1 divided by m plus n. This is how you find the coordinate of a point which divides the line segment in a particular ratio. So what is your m? It is 1. What is your n? It is n itself. So say for this line, you have a slope. You need to find the point Q. So when you find the point Q and you have a slope, you can find the equation of the line PQ. Okay, so let's find the coordinates of Q. We have 1, x2, which is x2. So this is x1, y1, x2, y2. So 1, x2 plus n x1 divided by m plus n, comma m y2. What is y2? 3. So m is 1. 3 plus n y1, which is 0 divided by 1 plus n. So what are the coordinates of q? I have 2 plus n divided by 1 plus n, comma 3 by 1 plus n. So now this becomes my x1 and y1. Now the equation will be using 1 point slope, m times x minus x naught. Y minus 3 by 1 plus n equals m times x minus x naught. X minus 2 plus n divided by 1 plus n. Okay, I am going to take the LCM. So here y times 1 plus n minus 3 equals minus 1 by 3 times x times 1 plus n minus 2 plus n. Multiplying both sides by 3, I get 3y times n plus 1 minus 9 equals minus, multiplying the minus inside, I have minus x times 1 plus n plus 2 plus n. Okay, now bringing the x to one side, my final equation would be x times 1 plus n plus 3y times n plus 1 minus 9 minus 2 is minus 11 minus n. I am bringing the n to the left hand side. So I have minus 11 minus n equals 0. So this is my final equation. So you need to have a coefficient for x, y and a constant. So this is the basic way of writing an equation. It has to be of the form ax plus by plus c equals 0. So you take all the coefficients which have x with them separately. You take all the coefficients that have y with them separately. Then you take all the constants separately. That is how you frame the equation. Okay. Question number 12. It looks complicated, but it is very, very simple. Please pay attention. Find the equation of the line that cuts off equal intercepts on the coordinate axis. So what do you mean when you have intercepts? The particular line intersects on the x-axis and the y-axis. They mean to say equal intercepts, meaning a equals b. So what do you know about the intercept formula? You have x divided by a plus y divided by b equals 1. They say that we have equal intercepts. And the question is not yet over. It passes through the points 2, 3. So this particular line, it passes through the point 2, 3 in the equation of this line. So here somewhere 2, 3 lies on the line. So when you try to simplify this, what do you get? X divided by a plus y divided by a equals 1. When I try to take the LCM, what do I have? X plus y equals a. In the question, it is said that 2, 3 lies on the line. And the equation of this line that we just found out is x plus y equals a. If point 2, 3 lies on x plus y equals a, then it should satisfy the equation, right? So you substitute for x and y. 2 plus 3 equals a. A equals 5, which means b is also equal to 5. So what does your equation become? Now you put back the a here. So now your equation of the line is x plus y equals 5. It is given that the intercepts are equal. You know the intercept form, x by a plus y by b equals 1. You try to simplify and you get an equation. It is given that this particular point passes through the equation, which means this point should satisfy this equation. So you substitute for x and y and you get the value of a. You put back the value of a in this particular equation to get the equation in terms of x and y. So your equation will be x plus y minus 5 equals 0. Okay. Question number 13. Find the equation of the line passing through the point 2, 2 and cutting off intercepts on the axis whose sum is 9. So the intercepts are basically A and B. They say that the sum is 9. So what do you have? You have B equals 9 minus A. So you have to substitute in the equation that you know. This is the intercept form. X by A divided by Y by B equals 1. X divided by A plus Y divided by 9 minus A equals 1. I am going to find the LCM. So it is X times 9 minus A plus Y times A equals A times 9 minus A. So this is the equation that you get. It is said that 2, 2 lies on the equation, which means it should satisfy the equation. So I am going to substitute for values X and Y, which is 2 and 2. So I get 2 times 9 minus A plus 2 times A equals A times 9 minus A. So what do you get? 9 2s are 18 minus 2A plus 2A equals 9A minus A square. Minus 2A and plus 2A gets cancelled. I'm bringing everything to the left hand side. So I have A square minus 9A plus 18 equals 0. So by splitting the middle term, 6 3s are negation. So the product is 18 and the sum is minus 9. So I have A square minus 6A minus 3A plus 18 equals 0. A minus 6, A minus 6 minus 3 equals 0. So A minus 6 times A minus 3 equals 0. So the value of A is either 6 or 3. So what is your equation? It is X divided by A, Y divided by B equals 1. So if A equals 6, then your value of B is 9 minus 6, which is 3. If your A value is 3, then your B is 9 minus 3, which is 6. So your equation becomes X divided by 6 plus Y divided by 3 equals 1, or X divided by 3 plus Y divided by 6 equals 1. Solving this, what do I get? X plus 2Y equals 6. The LCM is 6. Here I get 2X plus Y equals 6. So these are the required equations. Okay. 14th question is quite simple, but it just has two different subsections. So let's do question number 14. Find the equation of the line passing through the point 0, 2 and making an angle of 2 pi by 3 with a positive x. So the angle is 2 pi by 3. So tan 2 pi by 3 is nothing but tan 3 pi minus pi by 3, which is tan of pi minus pi by 3. Pi minus pi by 3, meaning it is in the second quadrant, all silver tea cups. So the tan is negative. So what do you get? Minus tan pi by 3, which is minus tan 60, which is minus root 3. So what is your slope? Your slope is minus root 3. So you have a point and a slope. So what is your equation? Y minus y naught equals slope times x minus x naught. This is your slope, point slope form, right? So y minus 2 equals minus root 3x. Root 3x plus y minus 2 equals 0. So this is your first equation. What is the second part of the question? Also find the equation of line parallel to it. So they say that another line is parallel to this. So the slope would be the same as slope of the first line, which is minus root 3. So the slope we have found out. Find the equation of line parallel to it and crossing through the y-axis at a distance of 2 units below the origin. So it passes through the y-axis, which is 2 units below the origin. So what is the point? The x value would be 0 and the y value would be minus 2. So we know what the slope is and we know what the point is. So now we just have to find the equation. So you have y minus y naught equals m times x minus x naught. So what is your equation? Root 3x plus y plus 2 equals 0. Okay, very simple. Just read the question line by line, write down whatever you know, try solving them slowly without missing any step, you reach the final answer. Okay. Question number 15. A line from the origin, so this point is 0, 0, touches the other line which meets it at the point minus 2, 9. So this is a perpendicular from the origin. So they say that this is perpendicular. Perpendicular from the origin to the line meets the line at minus 2, 9. They want us to find the equation of this line. So this is A, B and this is O. So what do you know? You have O, let me mark this as P. So slope OP equals M1, which is Y2 minus Y1 divided by X2 minus X1. So what do you have? Minus 9 by 2. Since OP is perpendicular to AB, Y is given in the question. So M1, M2 equals minus 1. So what is your M1? Minus 9 by 2. M2 equals minus 1. So your M2 is 2 by 9. So in this particular line, you have a point and the slope. So it is very easy to find the equation of the line using point slope form. So what is it? Y minus Y naught equals M times X minus X naught. So it's plus 2. Y minus 9 times 9 equals 2x plus 4. So what do I have? 9y minus 81 minus 2x minus 4 equals 0. So what is it? 9y minus 85 minus 2x equals 0. Multiplying the whole equation by minus 1. 2x minus 9y plus 85 equals 0. Okay. Question number 16. The length L of a copper rod is a linear function of its Celsius temperature C. In an experiment, if L is so and so and C is some value and L and C are given, express L in terms of C. So what do you have? You have 2 points. So you can use the 2-point form to find the equation of the line. Okay. So it is that simple. So let me move on to 17th question. Question number 17. The person sells 980 liters for 14 per liter and he sells 1220 for rupees 16 per liter. So this is how you frame the coordinates. You have to frame the similar x coordinates and similar y coordinates. It's very similar to what you have in a graph. So the x coordinate represents the number of liters of milk and the y coordinate determines the price per liter. Okay. So be very careful when you are assigning the coordinates. So what is asked? Assuming a linear relationship between selling price and demand, how many liters could he sell weekly at rupees 17 per liter? So he is asking what is the value of x when he sells at the rate of 17 per liter. So what do? So this is a linear graph. You understand that? So you use the collinearity. So this is point A, this is point B and this is point C. So what do you know? Slope AB equals slope BC. That's because of collinearity. Okay. So what is slope AB? This x1, y1, x2, y2, x1, y1. So y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1 equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. We have 2 divided by 240 equals minus 1 divided by 1220 minus x. So this is 120. I'm going to cross multiply. So you have 1220 minus x equals minus 120. So when I try to solve this, I take the x. I have 1220 plus 120. So what is it? 1340. So basically the farmer sells 1340 liters of milk at rupees 17 per liter. Okay. Question number 18. AB is the midpoint of the line segment between the axes. So this is the axis and it is given that AB is the midpoint. Show that the equation of the line is x divided by A plus y divided by B equals 2. Okay. So since this is the midpoint, so let this point be. So here we have the value of x and y is 0. So we have x comma 0 and here you have 0 comma y. By using the midpoint form, the coordinate of C is x1 plus x2 by 2, y1 plus y2 by 2. Right? So what do we know? A equals x by 2 and B equals y by 2. That means x equals 2a and y equals 2b. So what does the coordinate become now? 0 comma y is nothing but 0 comma 2b. X comma 0 is nothing but 2a comma 0. So now we need to find the equation of this line. We have 2 points. So we have points 0 comma 2b and 2a comma 0. Let's find the equation of this line. So this is x1, y1, x2, y2. So you have y minus y1 equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1 times x minus x1. So this is the 2-point form. Remember? So you have, I'm multiplying it by 2a. So I have 2ay minus 4ab equals minus 2bx. Okay, I'm bringing the x to one side and the constant to the other side. So I have 2bx plus 2ay equals 4ab. Since I needed 2 here, what am I going to do? I'm going to divide the equation by 2ab. So when I divide this by 2ab, what do I get? 2b and 2b gets cancelled. I have x divided by a plus 2ay. So 2a gets cancelled. I have y divided by b. And what is left? 4ab divided by 2ab. ab and ab goes off. 4 and 2 is 2. Hence root. Okay. So question number 19. What do we have? Point R h comma k divides the line segment between the axes. So you have the axis. You have x comma 0 and 0 comma y. You have the point R which divides the line segment in the ratio 1:2. You always go from x-axis to y-axis. So this is your A, this is your B, this is your x1, y1 and this is your x2, y2. Okay. So they have given that R divides the line segment in the ratio 1:2. Find the equation of the line. Okay. So what do? The point h comma k equals mx2 plus mx1 divided by m plus n comma my2 plus ny1 divided by m plus n. So when I substitute the values, what is your m? M is 1, n is 2. So m x2 which is 0 plus n x1 which is 2x divided by 1 plus 2 comma my2 which is y plus ny1 which is 0 divided by 1 plus 2. So what do you have? 2x by 3 comma y by 3 which is h comma k. So what do you have? Your h is 2x by 3. So x equals 3h by 2. Your k equals y by 3. Your y equals 3k. So your coordinates now become 3h by 2 comma 0. That is your A. And your B becomes 0 comma 3k. Now you have 2 points. You can use the 2 slope form. So this is your x1, y1, x2, y2. So what is your form? Y minus y1 equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So it's minus 3h by 2 times x minus x1, 3h by 2. Now multiplying this by 3h by 2. So I have minus 3h by 2 times y equals 3kx minus 3 3s are 9kh divided by 2. Okay. So I'm going to consolidate the x and the y's. So I have 3kx plus 3h by 2y minus 9kh divided by 2. I'm going to divide the whole equation by 3kh. So what do I get? 3k goes off. So I have x divided by h plus 3h goes off. So I have k. So y divided by 2k minus 3, 9. So it becomes 3. K and h get cancelled. So you have 3 divided by 2 equals 0. So this is your equation. You can even further simplify it by multiplying the whole fraction by 2. So what do you get? 2x divided by h plus y divided by k minus 3 equals 0. Okay, this is your final equation. Question number 20. By using the concept of equation of a line, prove that the 3 points 3, 0, minus 2, minus 2 and 8, 2 are collinear. So what do you do? Question number 20. So you take 3, 0, minus 2, minus 2, 8, 2. You have 3 points. You have to use the equation of a line to prove that they are collinear. If you have to use the slope, what will you do? You have slope AB equals slope BC. So if you prove this, they are collinear. How do you prove this? By using the equation. So you take A and B, you find the equation of AB using 2-point form. What is it? Y minus y1 equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1 times x minus x1. You find an equation. You'll get an equation in terms of x and y. So this will be your equation. Take the third point. Take 8, 2 and substitute it in the equation. Substitute it in the equation. So if you get the value to be 0, it means that the 3 points are collinear. Okay? Try to do this on your own and let me know in the comment section if you found it very easy to solve this question. Okay? So we have learned the normal form. What is the normal form? X cos omega plus y sin omega equals P. Right? So when you compare this to ax plus by plus c equals 0, how are these two related? Cos omega equals a divided by root of a square plus b square. So which means when you are given this equation, when you are asked to convert it to the normal form, you have to use this relation. Okay? So sin omega equals b divided by root of a square plus b square. P equals c times root of a square plus b square. So in this case, it's plus or minus and plus or minus. We'll see why when you are solving examples and exercise questions. Example 14. Reduce the equation root 3x plus y minus 8 equals 0 into normal form. Find the values of P and omega. So how do you do? What is your A? Root 3. What is your B? 1. What is your C? Minus 8. So your cos omega is A divided by root of A square plus B square, plus or minus. So what do you have? A is plus or minus root 3 divided by root of Root 3 square is 3. 1 square is 1. 3 plus 1, which is plus or minus root 3 by 2. So that's your cos omega. What is your sin omega? It's plus or minus b divided by root of a square plus b square, which is plus or minus 1 by root of 4, which is plus or minus 1 by 2. Your p is plus or minus c by root of a square plus b square, which is minus 8 divided by root 4, which is nothing but minus 4. So this is the value of p. So here when we consider the value root 3 by 2, your omega is 30 degree. Here your omega is 30 degree. Omega cannot take two different values, right? So your omega is 30 degree. So your normal form will become x cos 30 plus y sin 30 equals p, which is nothing but x root 3 by 2 plus y times 1 by 2 equals minus 4. So what do you have? Root 3x plus y equals minus 8. So you get back the same equation. Okay. So basically your omega value is 30 and p is minus 4. So this is just to check what you got is right or not. Okay. Example 15. Find the angle between the lines y minus root 3x minus 5 equals 0, root 3y minus x plus 6 equals 0. So what have we learned? The angle between the two lines, tan theta, is nothing but m2 minus m1 divided by 1 plus m1 m2. So this is what we learned. So we need to find the slopes m2 and m1. Let me take the first equation. What do I have? Y minus root 3x minus 5 equals 0. I'll have y here equals root 3x plus 5. It is of the form y equals mx plus c, right? So what is your slope? Root 3. So m1 equals root 3. Similarly, you take the second equation. Root 3y minus x plus 6 equals 0. So root 3y equals x minus 6. Y equals x divided by root 3 minus 6 divided by root 3. So this is of the form y equals mx plus c. So your m is 1 by root 3. So you have your m1 and m2. Now we can find tan theta. Tan theta is m2 minus m1. What is your m2? m1 is root 3 divided by 1 plus m1 m2, which is nothing but 1 plus 1. So what do I have? Tan theta equals 1 minus 3 divided by 2 root 3. So what is it? Minus 2 divided by 2 root 3. I cancel this. When I take off the modulus, I have 1 by root 3. So if tan theta equals 1 by root 3, theta equals 30 degree. So this is the angle. Okay? Angle between the two lines. If this takes a negative value, what will be the angle? So it will be 180 degree minus 30 degree, which is 150 degree. If tan theta equals minus 1 by root 3. Okay. So next you have distance of a point from a line. So distance of a point, for example, let the point be x1 and y1 is given by d equals ax1 plus by1 plus c divided by root of a square plus b square, and the numerator is inside a modulus symbol. So this is the distance of a point from a line. Okay. So next we have distance between two parallel lines. So when you have two parallel lines and the distance between them, the distance is always the shortest distance, which is perpendicular, right? Equations will be y equals mx plus c1, y equals mx plus c2. Only the intercepts will vary because since they are parallel lines, they'll have equal slopes, right? So what is the distance between two parallel lines? Distance equals c1 minus c2, basically the intercepts, divided by root of a square plus b square. Okay, so we are going to use these two formulas to solve some exercise questions. Okay, exercise 10.3, question number 1, second subsection. 6x plus 3y minus 5 equals 0. Reduce the following equations into slope-intercept form and find their slopes and y-intercept. So you write 3y equals minus 6x plus 5. Y equals minus 6x divided by 3 plus 5 by 3. Y equals minus 2x plus 5 by 3. So the slope is minus 2 and the y-intercept is 5 by 3 because this is of the form y equals mx plus c. Clear? Second question, first subsection, 3x plus 2y minus 12 equals 0. So this was using the slope-intercept form. So now this they want us to reduce using the intercept form and find the intercepts on the axis. So what do? You have 3x plus 2y equals 12. I'm going to divide the whole equation by 12. Divided by 12. So what do I get? X by 4 plus y by 6 equals 1. So this is of the form x by a plus y by b equals 1. So a equals 4 and b equals 6. So this is the x-intercept and this is the y-intercept. Okay. Reduce the following equation into normal form. Find the perpendicular distance from the origin and angle between the perpendicular. You need to find p and omega. So a is 1, b is minus root 3, c is 8. Root of a square plus b square is root of 1 square plus minus root 3 the whole square, which is 4 and 2. So you have cos omega equals a divided by root of a square plus b square. You have sin omega, which is minus root 3 divided by 2, and you have p, which is 8 divided by 2 equals 4. Your omega will take the value 60 degree and 60 degree. So basically the angle is 60 degree. Distance of the perpendicular from the origin is 4 units. Okay. Fourth question. Find the distance of the point minus 1, 1 from the line 12x plus 6 equals 5 times y minus 2. We have learnt the distance of a point from a line formula. What is it? D equals ax1 plus by1 plus c divided by root of a square plus b square. So this is the equation. What do you have? I'm opening the brackets. 12x plus 6 to 12, 172 equals 5y minus 10. I'm bringing everything to one side. I have 12x minus 5y. 72 plus 10 is 82 equals 0. So now your a is 12, b is minus 5, c is 82. So what is your root of a square plus b square? Root of 12 square plus minus 5 the whole square. You have 144 plus 25, which is 169, which is 13. Okay, so this is your root of a square plus b square. What is your x1, y1? This is your x1 and this is your y1. Substituting it in the formula, you have d of What is your A? 12 times x1 plus b times, don't forget the brackets, b times y1, which is just 1, plus c, 82 divided by 13. What do I have? I have minus 12 minus 5, which is minus 17. 82 minus 17. So I have 65. 82 minus 17, 65. 65 divided by 13, which is 5. That is your final answer. Question number 5. It is very similar to question number 4. Find the points on the x-axis. See, on the x-axis, what do you have? You do not have values of y, you only have x coordinate. So you have x comma 0, right? Distance from the line x by 3 plus y by 4 equals 1 is 4 units. They have given the distance, they have given the equation. So you need to find what x is. So let me just name it as A in order to avoid confusion with x and y. So use the same formula. So what do you have? First, let me simplify this equation. Let me bring it in the form ax plus by plus c. So x, 4x plus 3y equals 12. 4x plus 3y minus 12 equals 0. Always remember it is ax plus by plus c equals 0. Never take your value to be c when the value of c is to the right of the equal to symbol. Okay. So your a 4, b is 3, c is minus 12. Root of a square plus b square is root of 16 plus 9, 25, which is 5. So the distance formula, t equals, I'll just substitute the values. Using the distance formula, 4 equals, this is your x1, y1. A times x1 plus b times y1 plus c divided by root of a square plus b square. What do I get? 4 equals 4a minus 12. I'll multiply this here, so I get 20. So what do I have? When I remove the modulus sign, I have two different values. So it's 4a minus 12 equals 20. 4a minus 12 equals minus 20. So you have 4a equals 32. A equals 8. Here you have 4a equals minus 8. Minus 20 plus 12. You have minus 8. So a equals minus 2. So your value would be 8, 0 or minus 2, 0. Okay. Question number 6. Find the distance between the two parallel lines. So what is the formula? D equals C1 minus C2 divided by root of a square plus b square. What are the equations given? I am doing the second subsection, which is L times x plus y plus p equals 0. This is one equation, and the other equation is L times x plus y minus r equals 0. So this is xl plus yl plus p equals 0. xl plus yl minus r equals 0. So your a is L, b is L, your C1 is p, your C2 is minus r. Okay. So root of a square plus b square is root of L square plus L square, which is 2L square. So it is L root 2. Okay. Now using the distance formula, T equals C1 minus C2. So it's P minus of minus R. P plus R divided by 2 root. P plus R divided by L root 2. Okay. So this is the final answer. That's it. Question number 7. Find the equation of the line parallel to the line 3x minus 4y plus 2 equals 0 and passing through the point minus 2 comma 3. So they are saying the line passes parallel to this. So let us find the slope of this line. You have 4y equals 3x plus 2. Y equals 3x by 4 plus 2 by 4, which is 1 by 2. So what is the slope here? 3 by 4. They say that the two lines are parallel. So M2 will also be 3 by 4 because they are parallel lines. So you have a slope and you have a point. You use the 1 point slope form, right? So you have y minus y naught equals m times x minus x naught. So just multiply. 4y minus 12 equals 3x plus 6. So you have 3x. Bringing this to the other side, you have 18, which is equal to 0. So it is 3x minus 4y plus 18 equals 0. So what do you basically see? Since these two lines are parallel, you have the same a and b values, only the c value changes, right? Because they have the same slope. So this is c1 and this is c2. So further in exam, if they ask you to find the distance between the two parallel lines, you have c1 and c2. So you just use the distance formula. c1 minus c2 divided by root of a square plus b square. Just to make the question complicated, they'll give you multiple subsections, but don't panic, okay? So you just have so many variations, okay? Question number 8. Find the equation of the line perpendicular to the line x minus 7y plus 5 equals 0 and having an x-intercept at 3. So x-intercept is 3, so which means the point is 3, 0. So writing this in terms of y equals mx plus c, I have 7y equals x plus 5, y equals 1 by 7x plus 5 by 7. So my slope is 1 by 7. Since they say it's perpendicular, I have m1, m2 equals minus 1. So m1 times m2 is minus 1, m2 is minus 7. So this is my slope and this is my point. So I'm going to find the equation of the line passing through the x-intercept, which is 3, 0 and this slope. So I have y minus y naught equals m times x minus x naught. So I have y equals minus 7x plus 21. 7x minus 7x plus y minus 21 equals 0. Question number 9. Find the angle between the lines. Root 3x plus y equals 1 and x plus root 3y equals 1. So what do I have? Y equals minus root 3x plus 1. Here y equals minus x divided by root 3 plus 1. So the slope here is minus root 3. The slope here is minus 1 by root 3 because it is of the form y equals mx plus c. Correct? No. So now what is the angle between the two lines? Tan theta equals m2 minus m1 divided by 1 plus m1 m2. Right? What is your m2? Minus 1 by root 3 plus root 3 divided by 1 plus 1. Right? Root 3 times 1 by root 3 is 1. Minus into minus plus. And you already have a plus here. So what do I get? I get minus 1 plus 3 divided by root 3 whole divided by 2. So that's my tan theta. So what do I have? 2 divided by root 3 times 1 by 2 equals tan theta. Cancelling the 2 and 2. So tan theta equals 1 by root 3 plus or minus. So if it's plus 1 by root 3, then theta 30 degree. If it's minus 1 by root 3, it is 180 minus 30, which is 150 degree. Okay? Question number 10. So what does the question say? The line through the points h, 3, 4, 1. So there is a line h, 3, 4, 1. intersects the line 7x minus 9y minus 19 at right angle. So there's another line. So this particular line intersects this line which has an equation of 7x minus 9y minus 19 equals 0. Find the value of h. Okay. So what do you do when you have two perpendicular lines? Let me name them as A, B, C and D. So when you have two perpendicular lines, slope AB, let it be M1, slope CD, let it be M2. So for perpendicular lines, what do you know? The product of slopes is minus 1, right? So what is your M1? M1 is nothing but, how do you calculate the slope? So M1 is, this is your point x1, y1, this is x2, y2. Slope is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, 4 minus h. The question is find h. Okay, so this is your M1, minus 2 divided by 4 minus h. What is your M2? You have an equation. Here you had 2 points, but here you have an equation. So how do you use the equation to find the slope? 7x minus 9y minus 19 equals 0. I'm going to retain the y on one side and take everything else to the other side. So I have 9y equals 7x minus 19. Y equals 7 by 9x minus 19 by 9. So this is of the form y equals mx plus c, where your m is 7 by 9 and c is minus 19 by 9. But here our concern is the slope. M is the slope and c is the y-intercept, remember? So m is m2 in our case. So what is the product? m1, m2, which is minus 2 divided by 4 minus h times 7 by 9 equals minus 1. The minus and minus goes off. So you have 2 by 4 minus h equals, when this goes to the other side, becomes 9 by 7. I'm going to cross multiply. So it's 14 equals 9 4, 36 minus 9h. 9h equals 36 minus 14, which is 22. So h is 22 by 9. Clear? So the question is, you have 2 points and the line intersecting the 2 points is perpendicular to this particular line for which the equation is given. So what do? You find the slope of both. There are 2 different ways. So for M1, you use the 2 points to find the slope. For M2, you use the y-intercept form to find the slope of the other line. After you find the slope of the 2 lines, you multiply them to get minus 1, which is the rule of perpendicular lines, right? Then you solve for this, you get h. Okay. Question number 11. Prove that the line through the point x1, y1 and parallel to ax plus by plus c. So you have a line which passes through the point x1, y1 and is parallel to the line with equation ax plus by plus c equals 0. So this is how you interpret the question. Question la irukradha eppadi eludunonu first theriyum. Okay. So you have a line which passes through this point and it is parallel. Parallel ke eppadi poduvom, we put this symbol. Okay. And is parallel to this particular line for which the equation is given. What do they want? Prove that a x minus x1 plus b y minus y1 equals 0. So they want us to prove this. So when you have parallel lines, what do you know? You know that their slopes are equal. Correct? So if assume this is line AB and this is line CD. So when you take the equation AX plus BY plus C equals 0, I'm going to isolate Y on one side. So Y equals BY equals minus C minus AX. Y equals minus AX divided by B minus c divided by b. I want it to be of the form y equals mx plus c. That's why I rearranged this in the next step. So what is your m? Your slope is minus a divided by b, which is in our case slope m2. So let this have slope m2, let this have slope m1. They are basically the same, so it doesn't really matter. So since your m2 is minus a by b, what is your m1? That is also minus a divided by b. Okay, so this is the slope of this particular line. So now that you have a point and a slope, you can find the equation of this line using one point slope form. Okay, so what is the form for that? You have y minus y naught equals m of x minus x naught, where y naught and x naught is the point where it passes through and m is the slope that we just found out. So we can find the equation of this line. So it is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So let me rearrange this. What do I get? When I take b to the other side, b times y minus y1 equals minus a times x minus x1. So in here you see that you are almost getting the equation that you want. Okay. So when you bring a to the other side, it becomes a plus, then you obtain the equation that you want. Okay. So steps podumode, just try to assume, imagine the steps that comes after. So appada you will know what approach you have to do, how to approach the question and all that. Okay. A of x minus x1 plus b y minus y1 equals 0. Hence proved. Okay. For each and every line, please write a reasoning or a justification if needed. So in that m1 equals m2. So what do you write? Parallel lines. If the two lines are parallel, the slopes are equal. I am writing parallel lines. But in exam, what do you write? The slopes are equal because the two lines are parallel. Okay. Question number 12. Two lines passing through the point 2, 3 intersect each other at an angle of 60 degree. Okay. So basically you have two lines which intersect at an angle of 60 degree at the point 2, 3. Question interpret one line try to interpret what is asked in the question. Okay. Two lines passing through the point 2, 3 intersect each other at an angle of 60 degree. So let this line be AB and let this line segment be CD. So idoda slope M1, idoda slope M2. So it is given that slope of one of the line is 2. Find the equation of the other line. So slope of one of the line is given to be 2. Find the equation of the other line. So how do you approach this question? So if they had asked the equation of the same line, you already know the slope, you already have a point. Now in the line segment equation you have a point and the slope. So by using one point slope form, you can find the equation of this line. But they want the equation of the other line. So you already have a point, but you don't know what the slope is. But it is given that the angle made between them is 60 degree. So what formula do you know? Angle made by two lines, tan theta equals m2 minus m1 divided by 1 plus m1 m2. So using this formula, you can find what m2 is. M2 after you find m2, you can use this point and m2 to find the equation of the line using one point slope form. What is it? Y minus y naught equals m times x minus x naught. Slope substitute substitute the 2 points, we'll get the equation. Okay, so now let's solve it. Tan 60 equals, what is your m2? Let me just write it as m minus m1 divided by 1 plus 2m. What is tan 60? Root 3. So root 3 equals m minus 2 divided by 1 plus 2m. So when I remove the modulus sign, what do I have? I have two values, plus or minus root 3. So let us solve for both. So m minus 2 divided by 1 plus 2m equals root 3. M minus 2 divided by 1 plus 2m equals minus root 3. Right? So let me solve for the first case. I'm going to cross multiply. M minus 2 equals root 3 times 1 plus 2m. When I try to open the bracket, I have m minus 2 equals root 3 plus 2 root 3m. Rational numbering, irrational numbering multiply panna theriyano. 2 and root 3 is 2 root 3. It is not root 6 or something else. Okay. Now I am going to bring m on one side and the constants on the other side. So m times 1 minus 2 root 3 equals root 3 plus 2. So m is root 3 plus 2 divided by 1 minus 2 root 3. So this is one of the values of m for the first case. Now we have to solve for the second case. So let me do it here. So when I cross multiply, I have m minus 2 equals minus root 3 minus 2 root 3 m. So when I bring m on one side, I have m of 1 plus 2 root 3 equals minus root 3 plus 2. So m equals 2 minus root 3 divided by 1 plus 2 root 3. So these are the two values of m. So now I need to find the equation of the other line. So I'll try to erase this part. Just copy it down. So when m is equal to 2 plus root 3 divided by 1 minus 2 root 3 and your point is 2 comma root 3, your equation becomes y minus y naught equals m times x minus x naught. So when I multiply, what do I have? Y minus 2 root 3y minus 3 plus 3 2s are 6, 6 root 3 plus 6 root 3. What do you have on the other side? 2x. Always put a bracket. Otherwise, you'll get confused. Iதை மட்டும் multiply பண்ணிட்டு இந்த 2 மறந்துடுவீங்க. It will be like 2 plus root 3 times x minus 2. அதனால always put a bracket. So 2 times x, 2x minus 4 root 3x minus 2 root 3. So I'm going to take all the x to one side and all the y to the other side. So what do you have? 2x plus root 3x. So I'll take x outside. 2 plus root 3. I'm bringing the y to the other side. So I have y minus 2 root 3. So when I bring it to the other side, it becomes plus y times 2 root 3 minus 1. Clear? I'm bringing y minus 2 root 3 to the other side. So it becomes 2 root 3y minus y. When I take the y outside, you have 2 root 3 minus 1. Okay? Y in the now I have the other constants. What do I have? I have minus 4. What else? Minus 2 root 3. I'm bringing this to the other side. So I have plus 3. I'm bringing this to the other side. So it's 6 minus 6 root 3. Okay. So what does your constant become? It becomes minus 2 root 3 minus 6 root 3 becomes minus 8 root 3 and this becomes minus 1. So what is my final equation? X times 2 plus root 3 plus y times 2 root 3 minus 1 minus 1 minus 8 root 3 equals 0. So your equation should always be of the form ax plus by plus c equals 0. In the formula da irukanum. Okay? So try to use the value of m, which is the second case. This is when m is 2 plus root 3 by 1 minus root 3. So in the m use panni try to solve it and tell me what the equation is. Okay? I'm not going to solve it, but it is the exact same way that we just did this. Okay? Question number 13. Find the equation of the right bisector of the line segment joining the points 3, 4 and -1, 2. So you have 2 points 3, 4, -1, 2. Find the equation of the right bisector. You have a line right bisector, meaning it is perpendicular to the line and it also divides the line into 2 equal halves. So let this line be AB and let this be CD. So you need to find the equation of this particular line. So this is of the ratio 1:1. So what is your m is to n? Let us find the slope of AB. So what is the slope of AB? Let me call it as m1, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, -1, -3. So you have -2 divided by -4, 2 by 4, which is 1 by 2. Okay. So now I know the slope of AB. What is the slope of CD? Let the slope of CD be m2. We know that for perpendicular lines, m1, m2 is -1. So what is your m1? Half times m2 equals -1. Your m2 is -2. So now you have the slope of this particular line. So you need another point to find the equation of the line. So which point can you find? This particular point. Because it is given that this is a right bisector. So you can use the ratio formula to find the midpoint. Okay. So let this coordinate be x, y. So the coordinate x, y is x1 plus x2 divided by 2, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So let me name them x1, y1, x2, y2. So x, y is x1 plus x2, 3 plus -1, which is 2. 2 divided by 2, y1 plus y2, 4 plus 2 is 6, 6 by 2, which is 1, 3. So now you know the point D, which is 1, 3. So for the line segment CD, you have 1 point and the slope. So you can find the equation of the line using 1 point slope form. Okay. So now the equation becomes y minus y0 equals slope. M2 is the slope of CD. M1 is the slope of AB. Adala M2 eduthukom. So you have -2 times x minus x1. So when I open the brackets, I have y minus 3 equals minus 2x plus 2. So when I bring everything to one side, I have 2x plus y minus 3 minus 2 is minus 5. So this is the equation that you want. Okay. Question number 14. Find the coordinates of foot of the perpendicular from the point -1, 3 to the line 3x minus 4y minus 16. So you have a line with equation. So let me call this AB. Equation of this particular line is 3x minus 4y minus 16 equals 0. There is a perpendicular line from the point -1, 3. So inge oru perpendicular line -1, 3. So you need to find the coordinates of the foot of the perpendicular. They want you to find the coordinates of D. Okay. So how do you do that? So let me call the coordinates of D as A, B. So in the A, B, we have to find A and B. So now I have the equation 3x minus 4y minus 16 equals 0. Now I need to find the slope of this particular equation. So I'm going to have y on one side and everything else on the other side. So what do I have? 4y equals 3x minus 16. Y equals 3 by 4x minus 16 by 4, which is just 4. So the slope is 3 by 4. Slope of AB, I call it m1. So what is the slope of CD? Slope of CD, let it be m2. So what do you know about perpendicular lines? m1, m2 equals -1. What is your m1? 3 by 4 m2 equals minus 1, m2 equals minus 4 divided by 3. So now you know the slope of this particular line and you have a point, right? So what is the equation of this particular line? You have y minus y naught equals m times x minus x naught. So when I multiply everything inside, I have 3y minus 9 equals minus 4x minus 4. When I bring everything to one side, I have 4x plus 3y minus 9 plus 4, which is minus 5 equals 0. Okay, now our goal is to find AB. How do you do that? You have the equation of this particular line and you have the equation of this particular line. You see that the point D is common for both the lines, which means this particular point lies on this line and this line. Correct? We can substitute A and B in both the equations. So we'll have two unknowns and two equations. So you can find both A and B. So when A and B lies on AB. What is the equation of AB? 3x minus 4y minus 16. But 3, instead of x, I'm going to substitute A, minus 4 times instead of y, I'm going to substitute B, equals 60. So this is your first equation. A comma B lies on CD. So what is the equation of CD? 4x plus 3y minus 5. So 4 instead of x, I'm substituting A. Instead of y, I'm substituting B, equals 5. So now I have two equations and two unknowns. So I can find A and B. FDA substitution method. So I have 3A minus 4B equals 16. I can either cancel A or B terms. So I'm going to multiply this particular equation by 3 and this particular equation by 4. Do you see why? So when I have 4 times 3 and 4 times 3, 12A irko, 12A irko. So I can cancel both 12A and 12A. So what does your equation become? This has to be multiplied to the whole equation. Okay? Don't forget. So first equation is 12A, 4 4s are 16, minus 16B, 4 times 16, 64. Second equation becomes 12A plus 9B equals 15. So what happens when I subtract? This becomes minus, and this becomes a minus. So this particular thing goes off. You have minus 16 minus 9, which is minus 25B equals, what do you have? 49. So B is minus 49 divided by 25. So I'll substitute B in one of the equations. I'll substitute it here. So I have 4A equals 5 minus 3B. So I have 5 minus 3 times minus 49 divided by 25. So I have 4A equals 5 minus, let me multiply this 3 inside. So I have 9 3 27, 2 4 3 12 13 14 with a minus sign. Don't forget this minus sign. Divided by 25. So what happens when I take the LCM? I have 4A equals 25 times 5 is 125. Minus of minus becomes plus 147 divided by 25. So A equals 125 plus 147 divided by 100. I'll just write it down here. 272 divided by 25 times 4. In the 4 and akkada kondu varan. Okay. So 4 and 272 gets cancelled. 4 6 are, 4 8 are. So what is your A value? It is 68 by 25. So your final answer, the coordinates of the foot of the perpendicular is A, which is 68, 20. And B, which is, what is your B? Minus 49 by 25. So your coordinates are A, B. Okay? You need to write this down in the exam. Question number 15. The perpendicular from the origin to the line y equals mx plus c. So you have a line y equals mx plus c. The perpendicular from the origin. So this is the origin and this is a perpendicular line. Meets it at a point minus 1 comma 2. So in the point is minus 1 comma 2. Find the values of m and c. Find m comma c. Okay, so what do? You have 2 points for this particular line. So let me find the slope of this particular equation. I call it A, B, C and D. So slope AB, I name it as M1, is y2 minus y1. y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So it is minus 2. Slope CD is M2. So what do you know about perpendicular lines? M1, M2 is minus 1. Minus 2, M2 equals minus 1. M2 is half. So you know the slope of this particular line. So in this equation, what is the slope of this particular line? It is m. So we have just found out m. So m equals m2, which is equal to half. So basically perpendicularity of lines which enna kandupidichom in the slope kandupidichittu in the particular relation which you found out the value of this. Now you need to find the value of c. So how do you do that? You have a particular point on this line and you know the slope of this line. So you find the equation of the line first. So what is the equation of the line? Y minus y naught equals m times x minus x naught, which is plus 1. So when I multiply, I have 2y minus 4 equals x plus 1. So when I have y on one side, then I have 2y equals x plus 1 plus 4, which is 5. So y equals x by 2 plus 5 by 2. So this is of the form y equals mx plus c. So we just found out m is half. You also get that from the equation. So where m is half and c is 5 by 2. Okay. So basically in the line in the perpendicular you have 2 points here. So you can find the slope of this line. Once you know the slope of this line, in the slope because the two lines are perpendicular to each other. After you know the slope, you already have a point. So you try to find the equation of this particular line using the 1 point slope form. So point theriyum, slope theriyum. Ada substitute panna, you get an equation. You write it in the form that is given in the question. This is the default general form, but this is also given in the question. So when you try to compare both, you get m to be half and c to be 5 by 2. Okay. Question number 16. P and Q are the lengths of the perpendiculars from the origin to the line x cos theta. So rendu equation kuduthirukku and the distance from the origin is given. Okay. So the first point is 0, 0. You have two lines. This particular distance is P, this particular distance is Q, and the equation of this particular line is x cos theta minus y sin theta equals k cos 2 theta. And the equation of the other line is x secant theta plus y cosecant theta equals k. Prove that p square plus 4q square equals k square. So never panic when you see such complicated equations. Just try to solve the way you know everything. So in the question it is given that the distance from a point to the line is p. So what formula do you know? Distance equals ax1 plus by1 plus c divided by root of a square plus b square. Correct? So now you have two different distances. So when I take the first case, I have p equals, what is my a? it is the coefficient of x, which is cos theta times x1. What is my x1? So this is my x1 and y1 for both the equations because both come from the origin. So what is my x1 times 0 plus b. What is my b? Sin theta minus sin theta. You see there is a minus here. It is minus sin theta times what is my y1? It is 0 plus what is my c? This is not the default way of writing an equation. What is the general form of an equation? Ax plus by plus c. So when this comes to the other side, you have minus k cos 2 theta. Correct? So you have minus k cos 2 theta. So this is the numerator. And what is your denominator? It is root of a square plus b square. What is your a square? Cos square theta. What is your b square? Sin square theta. Cos square theta plus sin square theta. What is cos square theta plus sin square theta? 1. So now what does your numerator become? P equals 0 plus 0 minus k cos 2 theta. So minus k cos 2 theta inside a modulus symbol. What is given in the question? We need p square. So when I square on both sides, what do I get? P square equals k square cos 2 theta the whole square, which is cos square 2 theta. So this is equation number 1. So let me do the same thing for the second equation. So distance from a point to the line is q. So formula we use panna, what do you get? Q equals a x1. What is your a? Secant theta. What is your x1? 0. So you get 0. Similarly, b y1. What is your b? Cosecant theta. Cosecant theta times y1? 0. So again 0. So in that, what is your c? This k has to come to the left of the equal to symbol. So it is minus k. So you have minus k divided by, this is my c. What is my denominator? Root of a square plus b square. So in this particular equation, what is my a? Secant theta. So now your square root becomes secant square theta plus b square, which is cos square theta, which is cosecant square theta, right? So when you have secant square theta plus cosecant square theta, what does it become? I'll change secant theta to be 1 by cos theta and cosecant theta to be 1 by sin theta. Okay. So in the numerator, you have minus k divided by root of 1 by cos square theta plus 1 by sin square theta. So when I take the LCM, what do I have? Q equals minus k divided by square root of sin square theta plus cos square theta, which is 1 divided by cos square theta sin square theta, which is inside the root. So when I take the square root outside, so this becomes 1 by cos theta sin theta, which comes to the numerator. Clear? So I'll erase this part of the question. Please copy. So now your q becomes minus k. Square root lane velila edutha enago, it becomes cos 1 by cos theta sin theta. Denominator la 1 by cos theta sin theta arna, you can bring it to the numerator. So you have cos theta sin theta. So when I have cos theta sin theta, and also when there is a 2 sin theta cos theta is sin 2 theta. So what will I do? I'll multiply 2 on both sides. So I have 2 sin theta cos theta, which is sin 2 theta. So I have 2q equals minus k times sin 2 theta. Question line again, I know I want q square. So I'm going to square on both sides. So what will I get? 4q square equals k square sin square 2 theta. So this is equation number 2. So when I add equation 1 and 2, what do I get? LHS becomes, so I'm adding 1 and 2. So your LHS is p square plus 4q square equals k square cos square 2 theta plus k square sin square 2 theta. So I have k square times cos square 2 theta plus sin square 2 theta. So you know that cos square theta plus sin square theta is 1. So this becomes 1. So you have p square plus 4q square equals k square. p square plus 4q square equals k square. Hence root. Clear? So basically in the question you are only using the distance formula. Or point or line the distance is given. So you use the distance formula to solve such questions. Okay. 17. In triangle ABC with vertices 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2. So I have a triangle with A 2, 3, B 4, minus 1 and C 1, 2. Find the equations and the length of an altitude from the vertex A. So this is given to be the altitude. Altitude this makes an angle of 90 degree with the line. So you need to find the equation of this particular altitude and also the length. So let this length be D. So if the equation you have this particular line with 2 points. So let us find the slope of BC. Slope BC equals, let me call it M1 equals y2 minus y1. So 2 plus 1 divided by x2 minus x1. 1 minus 4 which is minus 3. So now slope A, let me call this D. Slope AD equals M2. So we know for perpendicular lines the product of the slopes is minus 1. So minus 1 times M2 equals minus 1. M2 equals 1. So the slope of this particular line AD is 1. So we know a point and we know the slope. So let us find the equation. So equation using 1 point slope form is y minus y naught equals m times x minus x naught which is 2. So you have y minus 3 equals x minus 2. Bringing everything to one side, I have x minus y minus 2 plus 3 is plus 1 equals 0. So this is the equation of this particular line. So we found the equation. So now how do you find the distance? Distance formula we know if a point is given and if an equation of the line is given, you can find the distance. Correct? So I need to find the equation of this particular line. How do I find the equation of this particular line? I know the slope of this line. I can use any one of the points. Correct? So I'll use this point. I'll use the point C. So I have C which is 1, 2 and the slope of BC is minus 1. So M1 equals minus 1. So equation of BC is y minus y naught equals m times x minus x naught. In the particular line oda equation namak therinjidina, we know this particular point. So the distance from a point to the line, we have a distance formula. So you can find the distance d. That's what I'm doing. Okay. So what is my x naught? It is 1. So when I solve this, I have y minus 2 equals minus x plus 1. When I bring everything to one side, I have x plus y minus 2 minus 1 which is minus 3. So in this equation, my a value is 1, my b value is 1, my c value is minus 3. So using the distance formula, what is my distance formula? D equals ax1 plus by1 plus c divided by root of a square plus b square. What is my point? 2, 3. So this is my point, which is x1 and y1. So the distance is a, which is 1 times 2 plus b, which is 1 times 3 plus c. What is my c? Minus 3. So it becomes minus 3 divided by root of a square plus b square, which is 1 square plus 1 square. So root of 1 square plus 1 square. T equals 2 plus 3 minus 3 divided by root of 1 square plus 1 square is root 2, which is equal to 2 divided by root 2, which is root 2 or minus root 2. The distance cannot be negative. So omitting minus root 2, the distance is root 2. Okay? Question number 18. This is the last question of this exercise and this chapter. In the question order, in the chapter, okay? We'll solve some more exam questions and extra complicated questions, but still, or chapter mudikronga more happier. Okay, so the question is, P is the length of the perpendicular from the origin. P is the length of the perpendicular from the origin. 0, 0 is the length of the perpendicular. Whose origin to the line, whose intercepts are on the axis A and B. So, this intersects the y-axis and this intersects the x-axis. When this intersects the y-axis, what is the coordinate? 0, y, and this is x, 0. So let me take it as 0, b and x. So how do you name the intercepts? You can name them as 0, y or 0, b. The question says, prove that 1 by p square equals 1 by a square plus 1 by b square. So basically they mean to say indirectly that the intercepts are a and b. So in that case, you will not get what you need in the equation. Okay? So you can take 0, b and x-axis la intersect are the a, 0. So this is the y-intercept, this is the x-intercept. Okay? So what do you know? X by a plus y by b equals 1. This is your intercept form. Correct? So I'm going to multiply. So I have bx plus ay equals ab. So this is the equation of this particular line. So they have given the distance from the origin to the line. So we can use the distance formula. So d equals ax1 plus dy1 plus c divided by root of a square plus b square. So what is your a? It is small b. What is your b? Small a. C is minus ab. Okay? This has to be on the other side. So let me write that. Minus ab equals 0. So this is c. Okay? So when I substitute x1, y1 and 0, 0. So I have the distance equals 0 plus 0 minus ab divided by root of a square plus b square. What is your a square? B square is this. So I have b square plus a square. What is my distance? It is given to be p. So p equals minus ab divided by b square plus a square inside the root. When I square on both sides, what do I get? P square equals ab the whole square divided by a square plus b square. When I multiply it here, I have a square p square plus b square p square equals a square p square. I am going to divide the whole equation by a square b square p square. So in the earthla what will happen? It becomes 1 by b square. A square p square cancel item. Plus here b square p square will get cancelled, b square p square. I have 1 by a square. I am going to divide. Okay? Equals, in the earthla a square b square pedo, I will get 1 by p square. So this is what you want. Hence, root. Okay?